I laughed when my 6-year-old daughter said it. 30 minutes later, I wasn't laughing anymore. It happened on a quiet Saturday morning. My wife, Jessica, was making breakfast while our daughter Emma colored at the kitchen table. Out of nowhere, Emma looked at me and asked, "Daddy, can someone have two daddies?" I smiled. "Well, sometimes kids have a dad and a stepdad." She shook her head. "No. I mean, Mommy has a secret daddy." The room went completely silent. Jessica dropped the spatula. It clattered onto the floor. She forced a smile. "Emma, sweetheart, what are you talking about?" Emma shrugged. "The man Mommy visits." Jessica immediately interrupted. "She's just pretending." But something about the panic in her voice didn't feel right. That night, I couldn't stop thinking about it. Children don't invent specific lies. They repeat what they hear. The following Tuesday, Jessica told me she was working late. Instead of going home after work, I followed her. She drove to a small house on the edge of town. After parking, she walked inside without knocking, like she'd been there hundreds of times before. An elderly man opened the door. The moment he saw her, he hugged her. She cried in his arms. I sat in my car, completely confused. Who was he? Why had my daughter called him Mom's secret daddy? When Jessica finally came home, I asked her directly, "Who's the old man?" The color drained from her face. "You followed me?" I asked who he is. She sat down and started crying. For several minutes she couldn't speak. Finally she whispered, "He's my father." I stared at her. "What?" She explained that the man who raised her wasn't her biological father. Her mother had an affair before she was born. The truth had been hidden from everyone for decades. 3 months earlier, after taking a DNA test for fun, Jessica received a message from a man who believed he was her biological father. They met in secret. DNA confirmed it. Everything was true. "Why didn't you tell me?" She looked down. "Because I didn't even know how to tell myself." She'd spent weeks getting to know the man, learning his story, trying to understand why he'd disappeared from her life before she'd even been born. She wasn't hiding another husband. She wasn't cheating. She was trying to build a relationship with the father she'd never had. "But how did Emma know?" Jessica gave a sad smile. "Last week he gave Emma an old family photo." Emma pointed at him and asked, "Who's that?" I told her, "That's Mommy's secret daddy." I thought she'd forget. Instead, she told me. The following weekend, Jessica asked if I'd like to meet him. I was nervous. The elderly man opened the door with tears already in his eyes. Before I could say anything, he looked at me and said, "Thank you for loving the daughter I never got the chance to raise." No excuses, no lies, just regret. We spent the entire